Proper Punters, brought to you by CrossBet. Are you ready to level up your punting game?
Welcome back to another week of Proper Punters. I'm here with my man, Tommy Forward. How are we?
Good, mate. How are you?
Mate, I think we've put through a couple of winning weeks, which is good. Building a little bit of confidence early.
Good horses, good ground, good bets.
It started off, I think let's go back and have a quick look at last week. We had a little worry it could play a little bit up and off. And it did look to play a little bit on pace early.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I think they seemed to race with a more genuine tempo late in the day, might have chopped out a little bit, and then you saw horses being able to make ground and kind of come a couple off the fence.
Definitely. I thought James McDonald got aware of that pretty early. I thought his ride on Cheo Wolf was outstanding. To take off, at the 600 and be turning into the straight third in run or outside the lead, I thought was excellent. Just took all luck out of the equation.
It's amazing what happens when you show a little bit of initiative, the difference it makes.
I know. Half these jockeys just find their positions, fall to sleep, and then turn the straight and sprint home. He just caught them napping. It was unreal. And
it was good to finish off with Briassa in the last.
Yeah, good horse. Wait to see it over 1,400, but looks a proper line chaser.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the way he let down. Great win. It was good to see that horses could make ground.
Yeah,
I got quite confident late after seeing that. But last week's races aren't going to help us much now.
No, not at all.
We've got Moya Stakes Day down in Melbourne.
Yep.
I've got some best bets down there, not the Moya Stakes, but we'll do our usual. We'll go through the last half of the Randwick card and then we'll go through some best bets.
Yeah, good stuff.
Let's kick off with race 6.
Yeah, go race 6. Looks like
the Furious Stakes.
Yeah, unreal. I've got a average to above average tempo. I'm not sure how quick they want to go here. I've got Too Darn Lizzie and Drifting out in front. Then I've got Photographic sliding across from 10. Too Darn Lizzie is from the Gay Waterhouse stable, so punters will assume we'll just find the front roll along. But I think the 1200's a concern for this filly, so I think they might try and pull up the speed a touch.
Yeah.
Drifting's 11 up to 12. It got control when it won first up, but I think they might just hold off and not go helter-skelter here. So I'm only predicting an average to above average tempo.
Yeah.
And then horses like Manal and Amina will just be out the back, I think, waiting for a sprint home.
Yeah, totally agree with the pace there. I think Drifting's probably got more natural pace than Too Darn Lizzie. Showed a lot of pace. Obviously, stepping up the extra 100 metres should find it pretty easy to find the front here if it wants to.
Mm-hmm.
I think Photograph could be one that could push forward also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And not Photograph. Yeah, Photographic, sorry.
Yeah.
I know 250 to 1, but absolutely had no luck last start. And I don't think Molly Burke will be sitting there waiting.
No, not this time. No. Barrier 10 should have clear running unlike last start.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a lot of the key chances come out of the Amina race, one that we did fine. What did you make of the race? I thought Manal was probably held up for a little bit, but then definitely had clear running.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I thought Manal held up slightly, but then over the final sort of 300 metres, it's had its chance to accelerate. I think the reasons for it starting favourite again, even though I thought Amina beat it quite fairly, is just getting back to a set weights and penalties race where they're all getting that advantage eliminated. And I think the SP last start, it did start favourite on that occasion.
She did start quite short, didn't she?
Yeah, so it's hard to sort of reverse the SPs off one run. I think that SP will anchor her down to be favourite again. But yeah, impressive with what Amina did. The overall time on the clock wasn't wow compared to the other races on the day.
Yep, definitely.
I've gone looking for Drifting from the Snowden stable, returning to its home track. I thought it went down to Melbourne for an easy kill. I thought it won well. Blake Shinn controlled it from the front. And I thought the second horse there was coming at it late, but I thought through the line and after the post, it was still holding it relatively well.
She was.
This horse was won at 1,200 in its first campaign, so I think the extra 100 metres will be fine. And you just know what you're going to get from Gate 12. I think Tom Sherry's just going to roll across out to the front, might sit outside Too Darn Lizzie or get control, and I think it's going to give us a side at $6.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, the rail's in the 6 metre position. I should just find the right part of the track. I think it's going to be warm. It should race pretty dry and relatively fast. So
Yep.
could definitely be suiting a horse like Drifting. I'm in agreement. So I'd be playing Drifting each way.
Yep.
Not a race I want to get too bogged down on. I wouldn't be surprised to see at least 6 or 7 of these horses win. So I'd be happy to have a small play on Drifting at the each way basis. Horse, look, it's coming from a maiden. I do think it was a really high quality maiden. Shoshisha. Out of the David Payne stable.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed with its win. Like it got held up, did a bit wrong. Chad rode that day, Chad sticks. Probably a bit of an ask, but I think you've got like David Payne, you've got like Anthony Cummings. There's a sort of stable that get good quality animals, win a maiden, and then just really throw them in the deep end.
Yeah.
Not sure whether it can win, but it's about 100 to 1 and could definitely be one for the places.
Yeah, beautiful.
Could run a cheeky race. Let's move on. Race 7. We've got the Concord Stakes.
Yeah, 1,000 metres. I think they'll go quick here. Red Card and Way to the Stars from mid to out barriers, I think will roll forward. And then horses such as I Am Me and Remark from low draws will want to kick up. So I think those 4 will want to dictate the front. And then I think Giga Kick, Private Eye, they'll be wanting to be ridden cold. Interesting what After Cabin does from gate 3. We'll speak on that a bit soon, but it has shown some tactical speed in its trials. So they might want to use that gate. I think the horse that's in a bit of trouble is Bella Nipotina from gate 1. I don't know where it could get to, and most likely it's going to be buried on the fence looking for runs. But I'll start with the race. I've got 2 bets in this race, or 2 suggested strategies. Giga Kick from After Cabin, or After Cabin from Giga Kick, however you want to stake yours. But like the way that both of them have trialled, particularly Giga Kick's last trial. James asked for an effort. It extended well, and then it was just clicked down over the last 100 metres. I like the way it hit the line. I like to see it sort of push out, coming back from a long extended break, just to say that it's got some fitness on its side, and the soft trials off those long breaks can sometimes be a bit of a concern. And then After Cabin resuming as a gelding now. 2 terrific trials, soft, everything you want to see out of a Godolphin trial. And I think from gate 3, it can sort of decide where it wants to go back if you can run on and or sit up there from gate 3.
When I first did the race, I was in complete agreement with you in my strategy. I've landed on the same 2 horses. I've got After Cabin on top. I just think if you go through and look at his 2 trials this time, like he's always been a horse that trialled well.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it was the same with Tom Kitten. Since being gelded, they trial, they've got, so they get more tactical speed. I don't know if it's because they're actually thinking about what they're doing the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he just looks like a new horse. Go back and look at him first up, last prep. Had absolutely no luck. Probably should have won that day against. Was a passive aggressive.
Yeah.
I just love this horse's trial. I think from barrier 3, I think he'll sit closer than he has in the past. I just think he's got a bit more tactical pace. They're going to go quick here, so it will get a beautiful cut into the race. I was going to go the 2 horse bet strategy. I'm just going to back him each way. You're getting around that $8 mark. I think. I don't want to be on Private Eye, but respect him as a horse. Bella Nipotina's trolling extremely well, but concede the points from barrier 1. And a Remark's a horse that has trolled exceptionally well and has gone very well first up in the past. I just want to be on After Cabin. I am very keen at the each way mark, and the gelding operation just seems to be doing the trick for a lot of horses at the moment.
Yeah,
might even chop him off if he wins.
Yeah, exactly. Something's working, isn't it?
There's been a few. Tom Kitten. There's another horse I backed the other day, gelded, and it's amazing what a man can do when he's not thinking about anything else.
Yeah, he's just focused on the task. What will they do with Giga Kick, do you think? Fresh? Will it drift from its current quote, do you think?
It's a weird one. It's hard. It's got the J-Mac factor. Yeah. It's a star horse. I think Mounting Yard and late will kind of tell the tale.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely hasn't had soft trials. Was pushed out a little bit in that last one. I think they'll have him relatively close to the mark.
Yeah.
And albeit it is 1,000, but they will. There's some pretty quick horses in this, and I think they will run along quite a bit. So, Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Like I've got it Aft Cabin from Giga Kick. They're the top tours.
Yeah.
So I agree, but yeah, for me, from a betting perspective, I'm going with Aft Cabin each way.
Yeah, beautiful.
We move on to the Chelmsford.
Yeah.
The time-honoured Chelmsford.
Yeah, I have no tempo in this race. Will be interesting. I'm predicting no tempo, but will be interesting to see what the Gay Waterhouse 2 want to do. I don't think Just Fine's with us as a horse anymore after its scintillating Australian campaign when it won the Metrop and whatnot. But I just don't think it's shown enough speed lately. What they want to do with Poptronic will be a big indicator of the tempo in this race. It was ridden cold in its first trial. Then its second trial, it led throughout, showed good speed. Wouldn't be surprised for them to go forward. And then I've got a horse such as Hinged, who gets Nash on in gate 1. That's always a recipe for going forward on those types of horses with Nash aboard. Zardozi from gate 5, I think, will just find a midfield position. And then a horse like Buckaroo was ridden stone cold last in the Wink Stakes. I think it'll just be ridden similar again.
Yeah. So you're betting against Zardozi at the price?
Yeah, just off a tempo. I've gone through and looked at all her best runs, and I think she's just a horse that loves a solid tempo. She won second up last preparation at Rose Hill, and I went through and looked at the sectionals. They went very fast to the 800, very fast to the 600, and she just thrived off that. I think she's an out-and-out stayer, and I think if they crawl here over the mile, I think horses such as Buckaroo, Hinged, and a few others, Adelaide River, we don't know what its ceiling is. I think there's a few others that could knock her off at the short quote. So just the $2.10 or $2.15, I think, is just far too short.
It's interesting that she's had 5 starts at Randwick and never
done anything.
Never done anything. Or she got the 1 second, that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
so I guess it was in Auto Major in Oaks, but that's over 2,400 metres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same as you. Look, it's not a race I want to get overly bogged down in, but at this point, I don't want to be on Zardozi. I definitely don't want to be laying her. I can very easily see her winning.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm definitely not potting her heavily, just at the price. I did like the run of Hinged. Blocked a little bit for the run, got moving late, conceded a lot of the points you said. It's one of my chances. The other horse I want to make mention of is Buckaroo.
Yeah.
I really liked the way he got moving to the line. He's only been beaten 3.3 to Via Sistina.
Resumed as a gelding, I think, this campaign too, Buckaroo.
Once again, just chop those nuts off, boys. It's what happens. Life gets better, I think. The run was good. It was good, and to be beaten 3.3 to Via Sistina, well, I think Via Sistina would be pretty short in this race if she was in it.
Yeah.
I think that form will stack up. I love what he was doing. I think he'll, definitely strip fitter. I think he's got some pretty solid form, second up, so he can improve. Typical stocky, strong, fast net rock. They sometimes need to start to get strip it off.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're my little 2-bet play in that race.
Love it.
Race 9, we move on to the Tramway.
Fascinating little race here. I've got an above average speed.
Yep.
Almost borderline a fast tempo here. I think Fearson and Felix Majestic will want to use their tactical speed and lead this race. Then I've got a horse, Freedom Rally, from 7. And then the favourite, which we'll touch on, Amelia's Jewel from 8. Interesting to see what they do now with the stable change. I think they'll look to find a midfield position, not be too aggressive, but I think just naturally from 8 in a field of 15, I think they'll just find a natural position. And then Democracy Manifest, another key chance, and Arctic Glamour, they'll be ridden quiet, I think, just to their natural racing pattern. But looking at this race, very interesting. I think Nation won this race with Zaki, resumed Zaki in a Tramway, won the Tramway, then went on to start favourite in a Cox Plate, scratched on the morning. I'll never forget that. But anyways, Amelia's Jewel, come over from Perth. Trials have been good. We know its ability. It was an unlucky run in the Golden Eagle when it came over, got in a bit of a washing machine and got thrown around a touch. I can't suggest a play, though, first up for the new stable at sort of $2.80. I can't really say that that's a good price. I thought Democracy Manifest resumed, hit the line well first up behind Jolie Star. Arctic Glamour, it's a line chaser as well. So I think it's got some proper competition here. Amelia's Jewel, and I was happy to look around it, but couldn't really zone in on one to suggest as a back bet.
Yeah, it's one of these races. I think there's a lot of fluff in this race.
Which makes for sort of car crash watches sometimes when there's a lot of fluff.
It can a little bit. My Oberon's a horse that's trolled really well. Fearson's run was good. I love the run of Democracy Manifest first up. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. I love that Nash sticks. I have a feeling that Waller's going to had this horse pretty close to ready to go. Yeah. He's not a Group 1 horse. No. And yes, Amelia's Jewel is, but she's probably got a bit of a deep spring. I wouldn't be surprised to see that a race like this was his mark.
Definitely.
I've got him as a selection that I want to be having something on. The other horse you made mention of, and I also agree, is Arctic Glamour. I love the way she hit the line. I love her at the 53 kilos here. Definitely give her a really good chance. I'd be having two small bets, Democracy Manifest and Arctic Glamour. Yeah. And I would not be leaving Amelia's Jewel out of the quaddie.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a wide leg if you're doing a quaddie on Saturday.
Yep. All right, we move on to the lucky last. Benchmark 78. It doesn't sound as exciting, but you know what? I think it's actually a pretty strong Benchmark 78.
Very strong.
How does the pace look?
So I've got a fast tempo here, Get Along and Flying Destiny. They'll want to roll forward. Then I've got horses such as Cloudland, Thunderlips, Uzziah. They'll also be up there, be positive on the speed. I think the 3 wide line will be in play in this large field. And the key to their maps will be avoiding any trouble, because I think this large field, there's going to be some car crashes. Very tricky race, Mace. Hopefully I've won my money for the day, because I have no interest in this race. How about yourself, mate? Hopefully you can give me some more clarity.
Oh, look, it's a bit of it's a funny one. World Lions horse of mine sadly wasn't on it last start. I think I got the favour. It was an absolutely beautiful ride, cutting the corner, but then finding his way out into the right part of the track. Panic was probably caught a little bit wide. I reckon probably improve from the run. I think it's a horse that can improve with racing throughout the prep. Yep. So definitely think it's a chance. I had a huge rap on Emirate last time. Wins were good. 2 very quiet trials. Isn't in the field just yet. I think he's one off gaining a start. And it's currently favourite. Massive chance if it does get in the race and he does run. Yep. Will be interesting to see if Waller does run, albeit that it's barrier 18.
Yeah.
Congregations has also trialled well. J-Mac. Interesting that was the horse that J-Mac went with.
And it's 14s into 9s.
Yeah, it's trial. It was a funny trial. Wouldn't say the trial. There was something about it, and it's got the blinkers on.
Yep.
The horse I want to make mention of, it may want to touch further, but God, I think the stable is flying, and I loved its first trial, and I thought second trial was just as good. Crafty Eagle, number 16, Chad Schofield.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it has drawn inside. I probably would have liked to have seen it drawn a little bit wider, but I think they will go very fast. And if it has any luck, it could be storming over the top of them late, especially if you can make ground. If it's a track where you can be making ground, and whatever this horse does on Saturday, make sure you watch it, because I do think the stable is flying, and I think this horse is flying, and that's Crafty Eagle.
Yep. Beautiful.
Why don't we go through to your best bets?
Yep, I've got 4 best bets this weekend. Bit of a tricky weekend, but we'll see if we can get 1 or 2 winners. We'll go to Randwick race 6, number 3, Drifting. Like this win first up. I just want to take on that Manal form and see if this one can get us the win at $6. Then we'll go to Randwick race 8, number 9, Hinged. Another each way play. Just keen to bet around the favourite Zardozi. I think at the quote with Nash on, I think it can give us a sight. Then we'll go down to Moonee Valley race 8, Pericles. Blake Shin will want his ride again, I think, after its first up. just kind of boxed in. Had to go back to the inside, which wasn't the going. That form's since been franked with Pinstriped winning the Memsey last weekend. And I think Blake Shin will want to make amends on that ride. So 225 looks a good price to me. Moonee Valley, race 9. I'm going into the Moor. I'm going to back I Wish I Win on an each-way quote. I think this is clearly the best horse in the race on class. I think if they overdo it up front, this horse will be flying over the last 100 metres. 420 is a good price. Mace, how about yourself?
Saturday racing here, and I am sticking with 3 bets, all the Blue Army. We've got at Randwick, race 7, number 3, Af Cabin. He's had his nuts chopped out, and if he wins, there's a chance I'll chop mine, because this seems to be a recipe that just keeps winning. We then go down to the Valley, race 6, number 3, Silmarillion. Loved its run when it finished second last start behind Amina. I think finds a much easier race here, and I think will be too strong. And then we move on to race 8, number 2, Pericles. Got a beautiful track in, and then just as they've got around the bend, Blake Shin tried to pull out at the vital stage, got blocked for a run, and then was forced inside on the inner part of the track, which was inferior, and the second horse has come out and franked the form with a win. I think it'll be pretty hard to beat, and I think can close us off for a winning weekend. See you guys there.
Beautiful.
All right, Tommy, well, there are bets for the weekend.
Looks a good day.
It looks a very good day.
No Group 1 racing in Sydney, but the meeting looks strong. Tramway, Chelmsford.
I think the thing that you got to stay very vigilant of, and it was a prime example on Saturday, races perceived to be playing relatively on pace early, but then that changed throughout the day, whether it come from bias or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think if you just stuck to backing and leave it, it's a leader bias track, well, you do your ass, and you looked because people would have got it wrong. So I think it's important to keep a close eye on bias throughout the day. Winds change,
Definitely.
lots of things. Mate, we've got a long spring carnival ahead of us, and those little changes can be the difference between finding and not finding a winner.
Definitely.
So join us in the Discord where you will get the late mail, and we are all keeping a very close eye on it, and hopefully we can have a very profitable spring.
Love it, mate.
See you all, and happy punting, and bet the fuck up responsibly.
Yeah, see you, mate.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential help, call the number on the screen or visit the website.